Hi, Ariel and crew. The Tate brothers got the VIP cage side treatment along with a personal greeting from Dana himself at both the UFC and Power Slap events this weekend, which felt like yet another low. I'm absolutely by no means a raging lefty liberal, but I'm getting pretty sick of the constant right-wing stuff at literally every UFC pay-per-view now. There's not even an election coming up. I feel like my disdain for the product is starting to compete with my love for the sport, possibly coupled with the lack of stars. Do you ever see a scenario where other factors like these could affect your love for the sport? I saw a lot of people upset. A lot of people were texting me like, this is it. I can't take this anymore. I don't know. I guess I'm just numb to it all. And I will admit, I'm not the most well-versed in the world of the Tate brothers. I know the brother has like an incredible head of hair. I'm not sure if it's real or not. There's one with the high hair, and there's obviously Andrew with the shaved head. I know that he used to be a former kickboxer, and he waxes poetic on, male things, and he's controversial. And I believe he was being sued, and then I believed he was being charged with something, or at least accused of something in Romania, and then some way, somehow, he was allowed to come to the United States. I would be lying if I say that I pay too much attention to all of this. But I did see a lot of people feeling some sort of way about it. I guess I'm just sort of numb to it. I don't know if this stuff is deliberate. I don't know if having these types of characters is done on purpose, if they're welcome here as opposed to other places. I saw them get this grandiose entrance. I don't know. I think at some point you have to make a decision. Are you just going to block out all this stuff and just focus on the fights, the fighters, the matchups, the storylines, why you love the sport, and not let other factors? Because if you let other factors affect how you feel about the sport and the organization, the only one that's really losing out is yourself. If this thing brings you joy and now you're saying I can't watch it or I don't want to watch it because I don't like that these people are there, now you're taking away something that brings you joy, and they just keep chugging along. I don't know. I tend to not get. It's like what I always say about the Bryce Mitchell stuff or the Sean Strickland stuff. I don't look at these people to be my moral compass. I don't look at them as as guiding lights, and so I'm not let down. I'm not bothered when they say or do something or prop someone up that I may not be a fan of or interested in or any of this stuff.
I think it's also fair to just say this stuff is complicated, right? And complex. And what you're describing, that idea of like taking something away from yourself, your own enjoyment, contrasted with the idea that you're potentially supporting messages or dog whistling about other things that you may not necessarily agree with, is not cut and dried. There is no black and white for this. Like it is a very complex and tricky thing in terms of fandom, right? And now as people and organizations and others have more and more exposure and we know more about them, it was a lot easier in a bygone era to just be like, yeah, I like this and I like these athletes, and you didn't know anything about them. Now we know everything. We know all their political stances. We know everything they represent, and it can get complex. And I think that's okay. Like, we just have to make these assessments as we go, but it is a tricky thing.
Were any of you bothered by this?
I mean, look, I don't support that, and I don't love it, but like you, I have
been... Were you offended by it?
No, because I've been conditioned to expect it. No, not surprised. Right. Not surprised.
Definitely not surprised. Didn't think about it at all.
You just kind of see it. It's almost like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's what I'm not.
But what was it again?
What's it again for being with this guy, a very controversial guy who's accused of all types of crimes? Was it up in court in Romania for a very long time?
What's there to gain?
Where's the value in that? Yeah, for Dana White, etc.
I mean, that's a question for him, but it's like we welcome. We're not gonna stifle. We're not gonna. Who the fuck knows? God,
it's the free speech thing. It's the no matter what has been done, we are open to play ball with anybody. We judge things on our quote unquote, like we're judging things on merit. It is.
They also have massive followings.
They have massive followings. There's an association. There's an implication. There's plenty of reasons to do it if you are courting a certain type of fan base.
I mean, it's not like Dana's Mother Teresa.
They are very popular.
What we've seen. So, like, what like, is he going to put himself above? I don't think they were charged, right? They were accused of some heinous things.
Yeah, I tried to look at the latest, but there was an alleged organized crime ring, human trafficking, very like serious and bad stuff.
Yeah,
and to the point that in Florida, the attorney general announced this was last week that they were opening criminal investigation into them. So yes, this is there are serious charges and things being thrown around these guys. But to answer the question directly, like, PT, like there is a message being sent, and there is a benefit to that association if those are the parts of the fandom that you want to tap into. They have a very big following.
I think people want us to almost be offended by this and just don't have the energy, not interested, and not bothered, not surprised, not offended. To steal a phrase from the brilliant sage Max Holloway, it is what it is. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.